Yeah, getting started with bowl week practice. Had our first practice this morning. Went really good. Guys moved around really well. I think everyone's excited to get the opportunity to play a really good Old Dominion team and a good bowl game in Charlotte. Charlotte's a great town, so I know our guys and our families will have a great time. But we're off to a good start with a good practice today, and hopefully we'll continue that through the week. With that said, questions?
I think there's a lot of questions as to who's going to play in this game. I think the last count I saw you had maybe 15 guys in the transfer portal, including 3 starting offensive linemen. Who's playing and who's not?
Well, usually every year it's the same as every year before. The guys that go in the portal, I allow them to play in the game. And most of them do play in the game, to be honest with you. I would think if there's some people opt out, it's more to have to do with the injury piece, their bodies being banged up, than anything else. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't want to play in this game. It's more of a health issue more than anything. But the guys that are in the portal, the majority of them will play in this game.
Piggybacking off that, circulation about who will be at quarterback if Austin Reeves playing or not, or guys like Upton Stout playing or not, are they playing this game?
Well, everybody's getting a lot of reps. I always give everybody reps, and everybody's out at practice and all those things. And so we'll just have to see. I don't have comments on that. But it wouldn't matter if it was the first game of the season or the bowl game. I don't really have comments on those kind of things. But last year there was 1 or 2 guys that that didn't play, and again it was more of a health issue. I'm not speaking to the quarterback piece. I'm just talking about our team in general. But we'll have what we need to go out there and compete. And everybody's the same this time of year. Every football team, there's always going to be 2 or 3 guys that want to play in a game, but their bodies aren't going to let them do that. And we just got to get closer to the end of the week to see kind of where we're at with everybody and what their health is like.
I guess kind of speak on just kind of maybe the difficulties of obviously ending the regular season and then having to come back a couple weeks later and actually prepare for a bowl game, as well as the positiveness of maybe some of those guys that were dealing with a little bit of injuries being able to recover during that time period in order to prepare.
Yeah, it was good. We played the last game. The guys had off that week. We still had good lifts and good runs, and they went out on the field and did individual drills on their own. It was finals week, so that was great that they could close their academics off in the right way without having to be focused on trying to win a football game. I would have liked to be focused on winning a football game. It means we would have been in the championship, but it was good for them to focus on the academics. I felt like we got refreshed and got a little more healthy. I still think we're a banged-up football team to a certain extent, but we got some good young players that got some good reps in the last couple of games that, I'm really excited, to see those guys play, and hopefully some of those guys will play in this game. So I think we're in a good place. I think our team's in a good place, excited about going to the bowl. And we got to, like I said, get closer to the week and kind of see where all the pieces are for this bowl game.
Last time you spoke, ODU's just announced your opponent, doing your more research now on them and what they bring to the table. What has been, catching your eyes when it comes to them?
Well, very, very competitive football team. I think it says a lot about them. They win their last 2 games to get bowl eligible. Again, it says that they're a tough, gritty football team and highly motivated. It's a great honor to be bowl eligible. I know, like us, they're excited for the opportunity to play in this bowl game. They got good skill players on offense. Their offensive scheme is good. They like to go fast. Quarterback's a good player. They got good runners that run the ball extremely hard. It'll be a good challenge for our defense for sure. And then offensively, they cause a lot of problems. They got a good front. They like the blitz. They got good blitz schemes. They get after the quarterback. Their linebackers are good players, good coverage guys. They change up their coverages and their looks, and so it's going to be a tough day for us offensively as far as trying to figure out what's going on. So we got to be hitting all cylinders offensively in the first couple of drives so that we can get them figured out. But overall, they're a really good football team. Should be a good matchup. Our guys are excited to play them, and that's what you want in a bowl game. You know, you want two good football teams that are motivated, that are both excited to be there, and you know, it's important for us. We like to go to bowl games, but it's important to try to go win a bowl game and get that trophy. So we're definitely going to try to do that.
One of the guys that there might have been some question about playing in this game that does appear to be playing Malachi Corley. Was there ever any question in your mind that he might opt out to get ready for the next phase of his career, or was he going to be playing this?
You know, we never really had those kind of discussions, you know. I mean, Malachi does his thing. I think it's more of a player that, you know, got somebody goes in the portal, you know, and then you kind of have the discussion of, hey, you know, what's your thoughts? What's your plan? Are you playing in the bowl game? How do you want to handle this? With Malachi, you know, he's same old Malachi every day. He loves to compete, and he made it pretty much known that he wanted to play as many games as he could play in and end his college career. And so, you know, we really didn't get into a lot of those discussions, but you know, he's obviously our best football player, and we need him. And so, you know, like always, we'll try to get him the ball as much as we can.
When it comes to talking to the players who are, you know, deciding which way they're going to go, whether to opt in or opt out, you know, how do you go about those conversations? Do you put your input on it and they figure out what they want for themselves, or you know, how do you know?
I think so long as you have full transparency. I've talked about this before. You know, my job as a head coach is want the best for all my players and all my staff, and so you got to be open and honest, and we have great conversations, and my job is to try to retain them, you know, and I think every opportunity you have to retain your players is a good thing. Same thing happened for the last 2 years with us, and generally you know, I'll say this about our guys: they love Western Kentucky. They don't want to leave Western Kentucky. You know, they love our culture. They love everything. It's more about what is right for them. And so we have those conversations and continue to have those conversations throughout December until, you know, they make their decisions on where they want to go. But you're always going to have guys that choose to go somewhere else, and you have guys that come back. And you know, my job as head coach is to put the team together, the opportunity to have that football team as long as you can so that you can win. And so that's my main goal. And then the other goal is to make sure that player who might be in the portal, what is the best thing for them, and try to provide as much honest information to them as you can. I'm not against talking to players about other schools are looking at, and we look at the pluses, the minuses, the opportunities for them. And I think our players really appreciate that transparency and that honesty. There's been guys that I've had conversations with that they end up coming back because once they get all the information, they're like, Western Kentucky is still the best place for me. And then there's guys that say, no, I love Western Kentucky, but I want to go somewhere else. So you're always going to have that. I think it's worked well for us, you know, and I think it will work well for us again.
How about the coaching staff? Are you going to be the full staff for this game? Or
Yeah. Everybody will be here. I expect we got a great staff, and everybody's full board. It is time for the coaching carousel, to be honest with you. I talk to my staff all the time. I want them to have those opportunities. Again, my job as a head football coach is try to get my staff to where they want to go. You know, if a staff member has an opportunity, they immediately come talk to me and let me know about that opportunity. And then, again, like the players, we have conversations on what's right for them. But for this bowl game, yeah, everybody's here, and that's great because you don't get that luxury a lot of times with staffs. You know, right now this carousel is rolling pretty good.
Piggybacking off of that, you know, you've been through this a few times over the past few years or so with you know, players entering the portal and coaches leaving. So has it gotten easier for you, or you learn how to deal with it in a better way since you have to deal with it?
Probably I don't want to say it's a favorite part of my job because I hate my staff that leaves and players leaving because I love them all. But it's a part of the job, that challenge of it, that I look forward to because I know I'm going to lose players or I know I'm going to lose staff. It's just way of college football. But trying to put the pieces together, that's what I really, really enjoy. You know, how do how do you get the right staff member? Every year's different, and you're trying to look at a staff and how do we add more staff members that can really help us in a particular area, and how do we add players that can help us in a particular area? So that part I really, really enjoy. It is a challenge, and it can be stressful at times, but as part of the job that I like the challenge, and I don't mind going through that process.
But it's not just that too. At the same time, you guys are actively looking at the guys that are in the portal, seeing dozens of people that are saying they have offers from Western Kentucky. So while you're trying to retain your guys, you're also recruiting. How hard is that to kind of accomplish all that while preparing for a bowl?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But, you hunker down for the month of December. You just expect it. You know what's coming. You're in the storm right now, and eventually you'll come through the other side. But it's just a part of our job. It's what we signed up for. Again, I enjoy that process. I enjoy it all. It's a fun time right now because you get to go to a bowl. It's a sentimental time because for your seniors, this will be the last game that we get to be a part of that with them and some of the players that are in the portal. And then, it's kind of a time that you don't know what the future holds for some of your staff and your players, and so you're trying to work hard to put together another good team next year. And again, I enjoy that, but yeah, it's definitely a busy time for the month of December for sure.
Becoming bowl eligible during the season, obviously getting that bowl game, does it add any extra fuel to the fire this year, just knowing in this bowl game? I mean, it has been relocated into Charlotte, and it's now the famous Toastery Bowl. Just saying that if you do come out with a win, then you'll be the first ever famous Toastery Bowl champion.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Our biggest goal is to win every bowl game that we're in. And Charlotte's a great town. I've been to other bowl games in Charlotte in years past and really enjoyed the town. And our team and our coaches and our players, we always really enjoy the experience. But at the end of the day, it's about trying to win a football game. And so we are very motivated to go do that. And so will ODU. I know they'll be excited. This is their opportunity to go win that trophy too. So it's fun to have something to play for, a challenge. A championship mentality that you get to have. That's what's special about college football because over half of college football doesn't get to do that right now. So it's something we value, and it's something that we want to get that win so that we can represent WKU in the best way.
Make the team want to get up and fight even more. The fact that it's a former conference coming to the Western Conference, actually somebody used to play against it. A lot of when fans think of ODU, they think of 2018, the year before you got here, when WKU lost on 3 overtime downs to ODU. So I don't know if the players here during that time, but does it add to that it's a former conference?
I think the familiarity is good. Like you say, it's a former conference player, so there's team, excuse me. There's familiarity there, and their head football coach, and does a great job. And I'm sure several of our players know their players, and I like the familiarity. It's not like you're going to play a team from the West Coast or those kind of things. We've had some good games with them. Their staff has done a great job since they've gotten there. Year after year, you could see their talent level. They're a big, physical, good-looking football team, and they play well. They play the right way. So there's a lot of challenges there for us, but we definitely have high respect and high regard for Old Dominion. So I think the matchup's a good matchup, and we just got to find a way to go win the game.
Sunbelt's kind of often used as a measuring stick against Conference USA, and oftentimes you guys are kind of measured short of the Sun Belt, at least here in the last couple of years. How important would it be for this program in the conference to do particularly well against that conference?
It's very important. Winning is important. Representing your conference, winning is important. All of it's definitely important, and we've been fortunate in years past to win some big bowl games and represent our conference well, and this year's no different. That's why you look forward to this game is for all those things. Winning for for your school, winning for this conference, winning for the respectability of Conference USA. I've said since the beginning of the season, I thought Conference USA was going to have a lot of parity and would be very challenging and competitive, and we did this year. I thought we had some great games within the conference. You know, outside of the conference, going and playing Troy back-to-back years, and you know, them winning the conference and the competitiveness there. We understand that those are good football teams in the Sun Belt. I mean, they are really, really good teams. So there is a respectability there, particularly for Old Dominion. And, you know, so like you said, all those things, we respect that, and we want to win and check all those boxes. All right, guys.
Oh, just want to ask
Yeah.
you, just off topic, just want to get your thoughts on Liberty getting that New Year's Six.
Yeah. That's awesome. Great question. Congratulations to them. They had a fantastic year, fantastic football team. Awesome for the conference that they get to represent Conference USA. It's really cool that they get to play a really good Oregon team. So I'm looking forward to watching it. It should be a really good football game, but excited for them and excited that they represent our conference.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.